when I started Relive, there was a lot of things that I did right. And one of the things that I did, I didn't do everything perfect, but I knew that I needed to treat this like a real business. So I never missed a training. I never missed a meeting. And I learned as I went along how to share Relive and how to do Relive. So I'm going to share some of what I learned today. And I want to start with Relive as a company and talk about Relive for just a minute. I fell in love with Relive from day one, from the very first meeting I went to. It just felt right to me. I just knew that this company was different. And so these are some of the different wonderful things about Relive. They've been in business for 33 years as a food science and nutrition company. Many of their products are clinically proven, they're patented, they're backed by science, and Relive guarantees that products work or you get your money back. They're an epigenetic nutrition company. And this is probably what I love most is Relive as a company with integrity and strong family values. And we'll see that this morning as we hear from Bob Montgomery, the founder of Relive. I know, it's important in a company that you start with what you want to attract from the top of the company, from the CEO, the president, the founder. And I know that if you start with that integrity and values from the top, then that trickles down through, and you attract that type of people. And that's what I've noticed in Relive for the 18 years that I've been involved. So I would like to turn the time over to Bob. Maybe I'll go back to this picture here. Bob, if you want to come on. I've asked Bob if he would share a little bit about goals and his vision for Relive. So I'm not seeing, Eden, are you guys on? There's Bob.
How about now?
There you are.
Can you hear me? Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm technologically challenged, so all of you will forget that. But are you ready, Jennifer?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how to get your screen bigger, but maybe Roger will help me. Go ahead, and I'm going to text Roger.
Good.
All you.
All right. Well, I would first of all, I'd like to say that I am happy to be here with you this morning. The only regret I've got is that we're not able to be in person on a Saturday morning and share Relive like we have for 30 years or whatever it's been with many of us. But I'm happy to be here. I wasn't really sure what it was we were going to talk about. I talked to Jennifer about this when she called me the first time. I said, what would you like for me to talk about? And she said, well, I don't know, it's up to you. And she mentioned goals and some other things, and I'll touch on that in a little bit. She said, basically, your job, Bob, is to do the talking, and our job is to do the listening. And I said, well, if that's the case, then I hope you don't get done before I do. That's the first thing that I'd like to make clear here, that it's important, I think, to realize, and this is the key, is to really why we're here today. And I was asking myself that question: why am I here on a Saturday morning talking about Relive? Why are you here today? That's a question I guess we could ask. And why, the simple answer is we're here because of a product that changed my life back about 40 years ago. It's hard to believe it's been that long, but it has. It's amazing. It's just amazing what has happened. You're here actually because someone thought enough of you at some point in time, whether it was last week or last night or 10 years ago or whenever it was, someone thought enough of you to ask you to hear about Relive and just take the time to listen as to what the story is and what it's all about. I think to do it properly, the thing that I would need to do is to go back a little bit and in time and to talk about really the thing that really did change my life in a big way. And I'm talking about the year 1980, as a matter of fact. Some of you know this story, and some of you have heard it. Some of you have heard bits and pieces of it, and maybe I'm going into a lot of detail here that maybe is not necessary. But I think it all ties together with what Relive is all about. Let me tell you what happened. My wife and I had been married for a long time. As a matter of fact, when she died 5 years ago, we'd been married 50 years and 4 months. And I was in the insurance business, life insurance business, for 15 years. I started out as an agent, part-time, then full-time, then a district manager, and then an area manager, vice president of the company, and eventually then became one of the owners, one of the top 3 people that owned the company. And that was good for us. We enjoyed the insurance business. I enjoyed getting into it. I enjoyed getting out of the insurance business, actually. And it was good for us in many ways. In 1980, I sold my interest in the insurance business and got out of that. I didn't want to say I had retired, because that to me didn't sound right at age 38 at that time, because I had a lot of my life yet to live. And what happened was, though, then right after that, was that my world really got turned upside down, and it got changed in many ways. First of all, my mother developed, or had passed away of breast cancer. Sandy's dad was very sick with congestive heart failure, and he ended up dying not too long after that. But along the way, one of the things that happened to me was that I became acquainted with nutrition. And it happened kind of like this, as a matter of fact. I was out on my tractor one day. As I said, I was no longer in the insurance business. We had these Arabian horses on this farm that we had, and that was consuming a lot of time. All of a sudden, this guy came into my driveway. I could see him coming in from quite a distance. And he was a fellow that had worked for me in the insurance business in the prior years. And he said to me, when he got out of his car, he said to me, "I've got something, Bob, that I want to talk to you about." And it was something that I thought about a little bit, but not very much. And that was he was talking about, he was in a nutritional company. And it was a company back then, we're talking 1980, 81, right in there. It was a company that I had never heard of before at that time, a company called Shackley. I don't mind telling you who it was. And he introduced me to the need for nutrition and doing things to help my body. And I became, like I do everything, I get into it with both feet, both arms, and everything I got. And I was not interested in doing anything except being a customer. And for several years, I was a customer and took those vitamins and pills and all of that. And then after my mother passed away, I got more serious about it. I got to where I wanted to know more about nutrition, because I thought there might be some connection between her bad health and nutrition. I had also, through my friend that had introduced me to the company, the Shackley Company, I found out that there was something called network marketing. I think at that time, maybe he called it MLM or something like that, but it was network marketing, MLM, maybe basically the same thing. And I learned a little bit about it, but I didn't know much. I just was able to watch and see that company had done very well, and they were around a long time. And what happened then was I went to a nutritional seminar, and I met a man that changed my life. And frankly, for many of you that are listening here today, he changed your life as well. Maybe you know that, maybe you don't. But when I met Dr. Ted Kalogris, he introduced me to a product that he had developed as a result of a World War II injury that he had, where he had bullets in his back as he was parachuting out of an airplane. And he thought that he could help himself with the constant pain that he was living with. And they couldn't walk. He was in a wheelchair. And 18 months he was that way. And his background was microbiology. He decided then in his kitchen at home that maybe he could do something with his background in order to help him his personal condition. And he developed a product that he called at that time CTN, for complete and total nutrition. But he didn't know what to do with it. He had these hundreds of formulas that he had used or tried to develop the product, and only one of them was working. And it was one that consisted of 72 different vitamins and minerals and herbs and amino acids. That was a little before I met him. I met him a few years after he had this formula developed. And I come to realize that he did not, once I talked to him, didn't really know what he wanted to do with this product. He thought maybe it was something that should go in the grocery stores or go in the supermarkets, whatever, maybe the drug pharmacy places, that kind of thing. And he started sending the product to me, and he did that for several years until I became sick with a brain problem that I had. It was a tumor, actually. What was happening was that I was seeing all these benefits by taking Dr. Ted's product, and things that were bothering me, like sinus problems and backaches and all of that. But there was one thing that could never quite ever get attended to or fixed. And that was that I was having continual, as time went on, worse headaches. And in 1987, this was the year before Relive was formed, it got serious enough that I had to go get surgery, brain surgery. And when I did that, I went to the best hospital. Steve Merrick, our longtime legal counsel, found the best surgeon that was available anywhere, and went to Chicago for this surgery. And they took me in to do what they were going to do, to pull out this tumor that was in my head, where they started right here, cut a piece about the size of a plum, set it aside, went in with what looked like a branding iron of some kind, and they pulled out a tumor about the size of a white grape. And it was not cancerous, fortunately for me. But the doctors had told me when this surgery was going on, before and then even after, they said, look, you're going to be in pretty bad shape for a while, because you've had a pretty serious surgery the way this has happened. And the thing that the surgery was on a Monday, and I believe, I'm not certain of this, so don't hold me to it, but I think February 1st was a Monday back in 1987. That's how I remembered it anyway. They had told me that I would be laid up for 6 months, that I wouldn't be able to do anything except just light work after I got out of intensive care and after I got out of the hospital and all of that. The thing, though, that took place, or the thing that happened, was that 4 days later, I was out of the hospital, walking the streets of Chicago looking for a cap because my hair had been shaved. And they were astounded. The doctor said, my God, we've never seen anybody recover the way you have. I knew what it was. I knew it was Dr. Ted's business. I knew, not his business, pardon me, it was his product, excuse me, I used the wrong term there, but the product that I'd been taking, that he'd been sending to me every week or every month, really, for all those years. He would send it in a coffee can or a shoebox or whatever he had to send it in. He'd make it in his kitchen and send it to me. And along the way, he told me some things. He said, and I'd gotten away from the Shackley pills and vitamins, and I was taking Dr. Ted's product. And I said, tell me the difference. What's going on with this? Because I saw that there were some great benefits. He said, well, there's several things about it that you need to know. Number one is, no product is any better than what you put into the product. In other words, if you start with bad things, if you start with low ingredients, low value ingredients, that's what you're going to end up with in the way of a product. I mean, he explained it to me, for instance, that one of the things that was a key was that if you took just any item you want to, let's say it's garlic or alfalfa or vitamin A or whatever it might be, Dr. Ted said, there are maybe 10 different qualities of these ingredients. Now, the cheaper ones are down on, say, that's number one here. The cheaper ones you can buy for peanuts, and the more the better quality you get, they're going to cost you more money. And he said, first of all, you have to start with the best ingredients. And that's what he did with his product that he had made, this CTN that he called at that time. And he said, the second thing is that the product has got to be able to be something that the body can use and that it can be absorbed and it can be effective then in that way. And I thought, yeah, that makes sense, because if the body's not able to use what's put in there in the way of those caplets or tablets or whatever they might be that never get dissolved in some cases with some of these products that people sell, then you have a product that's not going to work. Well, all those things had helped me through my headaches and my sinuses, and I felt like I was doing great except for those headaches. The headaches obviously were something that were not going to be caught or helped, not going to be improved or eliminated with a product. And the surgery was the thing that was the thing that did change all that. But my point was that the doctors were astounded. They said, my gosh, you got out of this hospital in 4 days. You're on the streets, you're walking around, you should be at home. You should be in a bed someplace. And I knew what it was. I knew it was Dr. Ted's product. Well, that was when we decided at that point in time that at our home, our kitchen table, where we had all these horses around, where we would put together a company to do this one product and to start with this one product. That was the beginning of Relive. And you say, Bob, why do you tell me all this? And I tell you this because all those things are important in the way of why it is that Relive has potential today, why Relive has done what it's done over the years, why we've affected and changed and helped thousands of people around the world in their lives and helped people feel better. Because it all started right there. The quality, the products that we decided pretty quickly we were going to start making our products. And we were going to use the top ingredients we could find. We weren't going to settle for anything but the number 10, the best quality that we could find of all those things. That was a big thing that Dr. Ted insisted on. And then later, Dr. Carl came along 4 years later. And he followed that same path and made sure that he wanted the products to be in the same quality. Dr. Galvez does to this day. I mean, I'm diverting a little bit here from maybe a little bit of the story, but Dr. Galvez has been a great addition. He's brought a product called Lunison to our company, which of all the products we've got great ones. We've got, 25 or 30 products, depending on how you count the flavors and the formulas and all of that. But Lunison will be, I think, the biggest thing since Classic that ever hit. Classic turned out to be the CTN product that Dr. Ted had developed to start with. But the Lunison is going to be a great one, and I'll get back to that a little later. But one of the things that many of you that are connected with Relive, I know you know the benefits of how it helps with your inflammation and other things that I can list. But Dr. Fred has got a real treat in store for all of us coming up very soon. I'm not going to get into all of that. I mean, if I say something, I'd have to have you promise not to tell anybody. And I know how that works. Don't tell anybody unless you tell them not to say anything or something like that. But my point is, we've got Dr. Galvez has now invented a process. We've had the product, a process where you will get about 8 times the power and the effectiveness of what he has done. He's found a way to get through that blood-brain barrier, which means the product can get into the bloodstream almost immediately, and about 8 to 10 times more powerful than what it has been over the years that we've had this product. I mean, it's the most exciting thing I've ever seen in my life. And I'm so excited about what we're going to do with this. I tell you all these things because I believe that Relive has a better future right now than we've ever had in all of our history. We started in 1988, and we've had a lot of good things that have happened. We went international in 1991 when Australia was our first market that was opened up for the business. We've continued to develop and expand our product line. We're in Europe in several countries, and we're in many countries in Europe that we're not even actually licensed there. We've got people that buy product from other countries like Spain and Italy and Austria and a few of those. And my point to you is that our best days are ahead of us. I am more excited right now about Relive than I was the day this company started back many years ago. When Dr. Ted and I were just getting the company going, actually he was doing the scientific side and perfecting the product. My job was to put the company together and put the people together to make it happen. And it's been a great success. The thing that's happened though, and here's what I want you to really know. I don't know what your time period has been with Relive, but let me say this to you. We've got things going on now that are far different than what it used to be. And I tell you that because Relive is not quite the same as it used to be. We used to, back 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 1 year ago, we used to hold these big meetings around the world, these big conferences. We'd have Tuesday night meetings, we'd have Saturday trainings, we'd have conferences in St. Louis and other places. That's all changed. And you know why it's changed, because we can't be together. That's my regret today, is that I can't be there with you and talk to you and meet you face to face and talk about Relive. But what we have had is that we've had some things that have been developed in the last few months, actually this year, that are just incredible. I mean, we all know what the internet has meant to our lives and how it's changed everything. But the Zoom meetings that we're doing right now, this kind of a thing is not something that you're limited to just in your backyard or just across the street. This is something that you can do on the other side of the world. What we're finding now is that distributors are doing the Zoom meetings with people in Mexico because they've got a few distributors or they've got a few customers that have got, of course, if you're from Mexico, and you're living in the US, everybody's got family in Mexico, and there are contacts back and forth and Zoom meetings going on. My wife, Eden, is a part of those probably 6 or 8, 10 times a week that go on. And that's happening in Europe, that's happening in Asia, it's happening all over the world. That's something we didn't have before, and this is going to change everything. You are going to see Relive grow in a way that we've never grown before. And it's unbelievable. I mean, one of the things that's different is that we can get product to you where we couldn't used to. We can get product overnight almost in many areas, and that's getting better. And that's not, some cases it's not every, depending on what you order and how much, but we can get it to you pretty quickly. And you know that it used to be a situation where you'd have to buy a lot of product and store it in your garage or your basement or your office or whatever it was until you really needed it. Now you can get it, customers can get on, you can get on, order that stuff online, get what you need, and it's there almost immediately, right? And it's getting better all the time. So, it's just, we've got all these things going for us now that we didn't have when Dr. Ted and I first met back in 1982, of course, but we went 6 years there before I was doing anything but just getting product from him. But my point is, we've got a future today. Relive has a future today that we've never had before. Never has it been this exciting. We've got all of the right people in the right place. We've got new leaders that are coming up and popping up all over the world for Relive. I see them and I get introduced to them by Zoom normally, but in some cases I've met these people and talked to them. They're new people that are growing, their checks are growing, the business is growing. And I tell you, we haven't seen, pardon my clocks that are going off around here. I've got all these grandfather clocks, kind of like me. I'm a grandfather. They're all going on all the time. But the point is that our best days are ahead of us, and maybe some of you know that, but maybe many of you don't know that. And I want you to be aware of the fact that things are really terrific in Relive, and they're going to get better. And Jennifer, I want to thank you for doing what you've done. I want to thank all of you that have worked together, and those of you that have participated with us all these years, been loyal, and thank the new people for taking time. If this is maybe one of your first experiences of hearing about Relive, what I would say to you is this, just one thing I'd like to leave you with. Relive is something that the world needs now more than ever before. I took a lot of products when I first learned of Dr. Ted's product, because all those pills and capsules, all those tackle things weren't really helping me very much that I was taking with the other company. But Dr. Ted's product did. It changed my life. It made my immune system strong. That's how I got through the brain surgery thing so well, was my immunity. My strength inside was so much better. But even now with we know what we've faced over the past year, it's soon be a year. We know that, and we know that I personally am taking more product than I've ever taken of Relive. Eden has a shake in front of me every time I turn around. She's saying, here's a shake for you. I want you to take this. And that, I mean, that's just something that I do. I want it because I know that that's my best defense about all the things that could happen to me. I got a vaccination this week in this arm. I'll have the other one in about 10 days or so. So I'm prepared. But I've got my Relive too that's going to help keep me strong and keep me healthy as it has for all these years. And it's doing that for lots and lots of people. And Jennifer, again, I want to thank you and thank everybody that's been a part of this. I hope this has not been too long. I just appreciate Relive. And as I said, Relive is something that the world needs right now more than ever. And I'd say that let's just go bring in as many new customers and as many new distributors as possible. And we're going to have a great business and a great life together. So thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day. Have a good Valentine's Day too, by the way.
Yeah, you too. You and Eden have a great weekend. Thank you so much for being on, Bob. That was awesome. We always love hearing from you, and that was great. Good things to come. We're super excited.
Thank you. Good.
Thanks so much for your time. We all really appreciate it. So you're welcome to stay on if you'd like, or if you need to go, you can.
I'll watch. We'll hang around a little bit because we want to see what you're doing here. That's good. We'll be on.
All right.
I'll step aside though.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Bob. Let me go in here. Okay. Excellent. All right. Hopefully, let's see. All right. Okay. All right. I want to start at the first of training. I'm going to mention it again at the end of training, but Relive has started a new Facebook group. So if you have not joined this group, you'll want to do that today as soon as training is over. Go into Relive International, search Relive International on Facebook, and you'll see a link to join this group. And there will be a live video on Monday that we'll share more about at the end of training. So make sure to do that today. So we're going to go, and I'm going to go through just the basics of Relive really quickly. Training is for new people. So this is a great place to get new distributors on. And hang on just a second. Okay. Training is to train new distributors. And so I'm just going to go through everything really quickly, why I love Relive, the awesome things about Relive. So it's important that we are familiar with the nutritional products that Relive has. We don't have to know everything, but we usually start people on the core nutrition. And if you're brand new and you need more info, you can get with the person that invited you on today, because I'm going to skip through this quickly. But we also have targeted solutions. These are sometimes things that we add in to help people get results quicker. We have, digestive health, joint health, heart health, glucofect. These products, what they do is the ingredients in these products give the body what the body needs to heal faster in that area. So Cardio Essentials, for example, all the ingredients help with heart health and cholesterol, triglycerides, things like that. And then we have our Lunarich X and Defense. And there will be a new and improved Defense coming out pretty soon. We might hear about that pretty quickly. And then we have our Fit3 program. I love this. I used to teach classes at our local hospital here, and oftentimes people would ask me, what do I do to lose weight and keep it off? And I would always tell people, there is no fad diet. There's no magic pill or potion that you can take and lose weight and keep it off. What Fit3 is it supports healthy lifestyle changes, which is what we all need to do if we want to, lose the weight and keep it off. And so the products support, they help with cravings, they help to boost your metabolism. But then there's exercise programs online, nutrition help, just helping people learn correct portion control, correct, foods they should eat and shouldn't eat. So I love the Fit3 program, and it's nice because people are able to lose the weight and keep it off because they do it the right way. Then we have our hemp line, which is fabulous. I was able to tour the plant in Texas where they produce and manufacture Relive's hemp, and it's awesome. Like, this is top of the line hemp. They have a certificate of analysis on every batch. People will not find higher quality hemp products, and that's important. I think about 80% of hemp is shipped in from out of the country, so people have no idea what they're getting if they don't have that certificate of analysis. And if you don't understand CBD and the positive effects it can have on the body, so your body produces cannabinoids on its own. What CBD does is help your body produce more cannabinoids. So your endocannabinoid system is the largest system in your body. It controls all the other systems of your body, your heart and circulatory, your neurovascular, your digestive system. And so as your body's able to produce more cannabinoids, then what you see is overall body health and wellness improvement. So, and exciting, stay tuned. Bob mentioned this, but something awesome is coming. We had an ambassador call this week, and they mentioned that new products are coming within about a month. So that will be great, because all the products Relive has are awesome. So Relive's kind of threefold, right? We have our products, we have our business, and we have the system. So this is kind of the second area that's important as distributors, that we understand the comp plan. I think if Bob was on, he would tell you that Relive has one of the highest compensation plans in the industry. And so, I'm just going to go through this quickly for the new people that are on. There's 5 different ways of earning an income. Retail profit, you can earn 20 to 40%. So the higher your distributor level, the higher your profit. So if you retail $100 product, then you would earn $20 to $40. Wholesale product is the difference between wholesale distributor levels. So if you're a master affiliate in the blue box and you share with someone, they come in as a quick start at the 25% level, you would earn 15%, which is the difference there. I think it's important. I like this slide here because I think it's important to give people options on smart ways to get started. And so when I'm doing, and Bob talked about doing Zoom, we're utilizing Zoom almost every day. I'm doing Zoom appointments. And so I like to share this with people on, because, we're just giving them information and letting them know where to get started. So So as a quick start level, people can save, you know, when they come in at that level, they save 25%. They pay only $375, but they get $500 of product. The first shipping on this order is free. And so people save about $150 at that profit level. The master affiliate level, distributors have 35 to 40% off for a lifetime. They pay $32.50 to get $5,000 of product, free shipping on their first order. And this is the highest savings and profit for a lifetime. And what's super awesome about Relive, and what I always like to share, is a guarantee. In the 18 years I've been in Relive, I have hardly had any product returned, but Relive knows their products work, so they back them with a guarantee. So as a distributor, they have a 1-year, 100% guarantee on any unopened products. And then overrides pay out about 23%. At least. And I love this. This shows what happens if we share Relive with multiple people. So if you share Relive, and this is kind of an example, if you share Relive with 3 people and they each do a $2,000 volume, the combined volume on that would be $6,000. 8% of that is $480. And you see what happens with everyone sharing with 3, how these numbers add up and how we help more people in Relive. So, and then the fourth form of income is cash bonuses and trips. I love, and we'll talk about this more later, but the bonuses that Relive has are so great. They're so awesome. I mean, a new person can earn these their first month in business, and the trips are amazing. If you build a business, you'll earn a bonus and a trip. All right, and the ambassador program is Relive recognizes and gives bonuses in different travel, and we'll talk about this also, but with the ambassador program. And we kind of have a new exciting ambassador program that we'll get to in just a minute here. So I'm going to skip through these pretty quickly, but this is kind of the system on our daily job description in Relive. This is what we do day in and day out. When I started Relive, you know, I knew it was important. I mentioned that I never missed a training. I knew it was important that I had the training, that I received the training I needed and understood what I was doing here. Any business that you start or any job that you have, there's always a training period. So this is our, like I said, this is our job description. This is what we do day in and day out, over and over and over. So the first thing that we need to do is identify, make a list of people that you want to share Relive with. And this is never ending. Like, you're always adding to this list. It's a live list. And I never cross anyone off my list because, you know, it's important to, like, sometimes it's no now, but not forever. So you want to think of people that need the products and people that you would love to be in business with. And then go to the first 5, like, contact them today. Here's kind of a list that has, you know, ideas of people that you can think of. Like, go to your cell phone. Who's on your cell phone list, your email list? Who do you know on Facebook and Twitter? Who would you invite if you know, had a child get married? Or who did you know in high school? Like, all of these things. If you have someone come to your home and you're giving them money to maybe repair your dishwasher or whatever, like, you know, talk to them, ask questions. I love this slide here. Always be thinking of how you can help others. We exist on this earth to make people's lives better, to improve and help people. And every interaction that we have with others is a chance to change their life for good. So we always, you know, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and it's important that we talk to people, find out. I know I've heard Bob say before, treat people like they have a tattoo on their forehead. Oh, Bob, what is it? Something like, make me feel special, I think, or something, because everyone has something they're dealing with. And so just loving people and talking to them, finding out what their needs are, and then helping them with those needs is very important. And then the second thing we want to do is connect. It's important to share excitement. We're going to share more about this a little bit later today. but why did you think of them? Think of their needs. I know someone in Relive, and he said, before I pick up that phone, I always try to visualize like how Relive will bless their life with their health or their finances. And then, it makes it easier to share. But your goal here, every time I do a call with someone, or whether it's follow-up or talking to someone the first time, I always have a goal in mind, like something I want to get people to that next step. So when you're connecting with people, your goal is to set an appointment. So last night I had someone call me and they say, what do you say if someone calls you, or if you're talking to someone about Relive and they ask you how much it costs? And so I say, what I do is I always try to refer to an appointment. So I will say, that's a great question. There's about 7 different price points in Relive. You can save up to 40% when you have 20 minutes, and I can share more about it. So, your goal is to just defer to that appointment. And it's great. Like I said, now we can just share them a link, send them a link and do a Zoom appointment. I also like to use stories in connecting. So I met a lady at the grocery store who had migraines. And as I was talking to her, I said, oh, I have a friend that had great results with migraines. So I got her number. But when I called her, and I told her I'd be calling with more information, and when I called, I had somebody on the phone that had results with migraines. And so I just called and said, hey, this is Jen. I met you at the store. Told you I'd call with more information. Do you have a few minutes? And then I let my friend share her story, and then we set up an appointment. So, so stories are a great tool to use as you're connecting with people. And then the third step, that kind of our daily job description, is sharing the Relive story. So that's a Zoom appointment, or this can be part of the Relive story, just helping people understand all about Relive. So I like to try to do an appointment when it's possible. Sometimes people just want to get started on the products, and I kind of meet people where they're at, but it is nice because then they kind of understand the products, they understand their options as far as purchasing. And like I said, I try to make it easy. Sometimes if I'm talking to someone, I'll say, hey, do you have a few minutes right now? And I just give them a Zoom link and put them on Zoom and help them understand Relive right then. So. And then at the end, we want to always ask for a decision. We don't know what people's needs are, so we kind of give them the information and then let them choose. And oftentimes people will ask questions about a certain product or about sharing with others. And so at that point, I usually go back and I'll give a little more information about levels they can come in at, or the products, or whatever. But ask them where they want to get started, and then listen and help, kind of meet them where they're at and help them get started. You can take them online and sign them right up as a customer or distributor, or, help them with that next step. So if they want to become a customer and they start on the products, then follow up is the next step. And this is really important. In fact, we'll hear from them in a minute from the newest senior director that we have in Relive, and she does awesome customer follow-up. She trained last week and it was amazing. But when we, care about people and really help them through the process of taking the products and understanding Relive, and then they understand how much we care, and it really helps them through. Because when you give your body what your body needs to heal, sometimes it's a little bit of a process, and your body goes through steps in healing. And so these stories, and as we're sharing follow-up and calling people and sharing stories, they just help people through this process. And again, what I do with follow-up is I try to use this to get people to the next step. If they're on the basic nutrition and they have arthritis, and I feel like Artheffect would help them get results faster, then I get them on a story and let them hear a story and hear that, that's a product that can help speed up results. So I try to use follow-up to help move people through, and also think of people that they would like to share Relive with. If you have a new distributor, you want to help them take action immediately. Help them start a list and go through these steps with them, identify people that they can share Relive with and connect with those people. I shared with a man, and I'll talk about him here in just a little bit, but he was really a pretty sick guy. He had, his cholesterol was over 800, and he'd had 6 strokes, 16 vascular surgeries. He was dying. The doctors had only given him a couple months to live. But he, you know, after a couple months, he got great results and was starting to think of people. And he called me every day. Like it's so important that we use the people that have sponsored us to help us build a business. So don't feel like you have to do this alone. But he would have me share my story, and we'd set up appointments and follow up with people and help, you know, move people through the system. Relive has a system of success, and you know, we've just talked about upline. It's so important. My upline always said, use me like a tube of toothpaste, and I use my toothpaste every day, at least twice a day for sure. So that kind of gives you an idea of how often you should be calling your upline. So let them help you, and go to, you know, and if you don't have upline that's active, just, there's so many people in Relive willing to help. 3-way calls help to share stories and the weight of evidence and how these products are changing lives. There's awesome conference calls every week. We'll talk about this a little bit later, but almost every day of the week, there's calls that you can plug people into. Training, learning the basics, and then conferences. I know this year we'll have another virtual conference, but that's awesome because people all over the world can hear how awesome Relive is at the same time. But this is how you expose people to stories. Using the system, plugging people into weekly calls and 3-way calls just helps to build wall of belief, helps people get results, helps, you know, if there's any issues with taste or anything like that, then it's a system that helps work through that. It is important to become familiar with Relive's current promotions and use them to grow your business. I mentioned that I earned the trip to Hawaii last year and this year, and this was part of my goals, is to earn, you know, these promotions that Relive has. So the best way to become familiar with them is to tune in the very first day of the month to the Engage video that's online or on your app. If you have an app, and it's usually just a few minutes, listen to that. But this month we have a top 3 bonus, 3,000, 2,000, 1,000 for first, second, and third. And if your volume's over 15,000, you earn an extra $1,000 bonus. And this for last month, Mary and Kermit Bright earned first place, Janet Gildred earned second place, and Kim Lucas earned third place. So congratulations to you guys. That's super awesome, building an amazing business. And then promo 1, 2, and 3. These are the best promotions Relive has ever had. This is how new people can earn a bonus right as soon as they get involved. So, you know, if you have maintained 5 customers a month, then you get a $100 Relive product credit. And if you have 10, you get a $200 Relive product credit. If you sponsor 3, or when you sponsor 3 frontline quick starts in a month, you earn a $250 bonus. This more than doubles your earnings. If you're a master affiliate, you earn $75 per quick start that you sponsor. So that's $225 if you sponsor in wholesale that you're paid. If you sponsor 3, when you sponsor 3 frontline quick starts. So a $250 bonus more than doubles your earnings there. That's an awesome bonus. And you can do that as many times as you want. If you sponsor 6, you earn 2 bonuses. If you sponsor 9, you earn 3. And then promo 3 is when you sponsor a master affiliate, you earn a $250 bonus. So this doubles your earnings at that level too. And that's super awesome. The director level. So this has changed recently. Relive is simplifying everything, which I love. It's awesome. So we need to become familiar with this. When you become a director, when you break your first frontline master affiliate, you become a director. The next level is key director, and this is $1,000 in earnings in a calendar month, and half of that needs to be from override earnings. Or you can do a $20,000 PGPB. As a key director, you earn a one-time $500 bonus. Senior director is double, so $2,000 earnings, half of that is from overrides, and you earn a one-time $1,000 bonus. Master director is $4,000, half from overrides, you get a $2,000 bonus. And presidential is $8,000, half from overrides, and you get a one-time $4,000 bonus and a presidential ring. So I want to congratulate new directors and key directors this month. So congratulations to all of you. I actually have one of the new key directors on. Hopefully she's on. So Karen Zaya, if you would like to come on, we'd love to hear from you really quickly, share your story. So if you can unmute yourself, that would be fabulous.
Can you see me? I can still see you.
Okay, I can see you. I can see you and hear you. You're a little bit faint, so if you can talk loud, that would be great.
Okay, I will try. And Jen gave me 1 minute, so I'm going to share really quickly. But I want to emphasize what she said about never cross anyone off your list. My sister tried to share with me probably for more than a year before I said yes. And it has changed my life. I, at the time, had mold toxicity. It attacked my immune system. I was very sick. I was starting to crawl out of being sick, but Relive gave me more energy. It helped me get off of medications that I thought I would be on forever. I'm so grateful for people who are willing to share, who loved me, who consistently tried to share with me. And I am building a business, but the other thing that I really wanted to share is that I'm already seeing miracles in the people that I'm sharing with. And to me, that's better than money. I'm so grateful for Relive, and I will continue to share with everyone I meet.
Awesome. Thank you, Karen. Thanks for sharing. And you have such a good heart and you are helping people. So that's awesome. All right, we have a new senior director in Relive, Dawn Tucci. Dawn's awesome. We work together all the time, and I'm so excited for Dawn. She also earned the trip to Hawaii, and now Florida, so we're excited to spend time with her in May. But Dawn, if you could come on and take a minute or two and share with us what Relive has done for you, that would be super.
Yeah, I'm excited to do that. And it's been great hearing from you and Bob today. I'm so excited about this company. I started 15 years ago. I'm a registered dietitian. I started skeptically. I actually said no the first time, so I can relate to what was just being said about that. But, you know, I never saw supplements do much for the people I worked with, so I said no. But I went into menopause shortly after that, and my friend called me again. And menopause is my reason for looking at Relive. I'm very thankful that I did, because it has changed my life in so many ways. And as I saw what was happening for myself, my children, and the people that I started to help, you know, as you hear these stories, you can't help but reach out to your friends. And then they wanted me to help their families. And I could see that this was something that could become a business if I chose for it to do that. And so I just, a step at a time, helped their families, helped more people. Life was pretty busy in my house. I had 3 kids, and one was diagnosed with autism when he started school. So he kind of became my full-time job. But one of the things I like most about our opportunity is that it's so flexible that you can put your family first and do as much as you want or as little as you want. So as my kids have gotten older and I can spend more time helping more people, that's what I'm doing. As you said, Jen, I just became a senior director with this company, and that was just really helping a lot of people over time. You know, this is work, but it's fun work, and I can't see myself doing anything else. My first goal, though, was to pay for my family's product, which I did. You know, by helping other people with their business or with their health, I was able to pay for our product and have earned some bonuses and gone over 4,000 along the way a couple of times because of bonuses, but consistently growing an income that was averaging about $1,500 a month. And last month it was over 3,000, probably closer to 4,000 with a bonus. And so how fun is that, you know, to get paid extra for doing my job And I don't see this stopping. I want to feed a lot of kids, which is going to mean I've got to help more people to be able to do that. Feeding kids all over the world is one of my goals, and helping my team grow and just sharing Relive with people that need it, which is everybody. So super excited for the unknown, which is where this is going to go, but I'm on board for a lifetime.
Awesome. Thanks, Dawn. Congratulations again. And
Thank you.
happy to help you. Call me.
I love that part.
Thanks. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about the Global Ambassador Team. This is new, and it's important that we are familiar with how this works. So the qualification for this occurs during January through December. So if you are below a senior director and you advance to senior director 2 months in a row, so Dawn has the opportunity of doing that this month, with at least half of your earnings and overrides, then you advance. Or if you're currently a senior director and you advance to master director, you advance. Or if you achieve 1 and 2 below, which is 3, this is why promo 1, 2, and 3 is important. If you achieve all 3 components of promo 1, 2, and 3 once during 2021, or if, at any level you're at, and master director and you advance to PD, or again, senior director earnings 2 months in a row, then you become part of the Global Ambassador Team. And we'll talk about the benefits of that here in a moment. We already talked about the bonuses. But again, if you get that one-time bonus, but then if you're at the master director level on the ambassador team, you get a monthly bonus of 5% of all of your earnings. If you have qualifications, if your check is 4,000 with these qualifications, then every single month that you meet these qualifications, you get a bonus of 5%, which is what, it's going to be at least $800, right? It's 5%. Did I figure that out right? No. Anyway, whatever. Okay, it's going to be a lot. Sorry. And then presidential, if you get a bonus of 10% of your earnings if you meet your qualification on that for that level. And then travel. Travel is awesome. Relive always rewards you with travel as you're building a business. So at the master director level and the PD director level, you qualify for the celebration trip. And then all ambassador team members qualify for the leadership retreat. So there's actually 2. So a leadership retreat is in March. It's 3 days, 2 nights. It used to be in St. Louis. I'm not exactly sure. I think it is. I think they teach you to do the plans and stuff. But then there's also a celebration trip. And if you qualify in 2021, then the trips will be in 2022, the following year. I want to talk, so training usually goes an hour. It will go a little bit over today, but I can move through things pretty quickly. So hang in with me here because what we're going to talk about today is important. I want to talk about 5 keys to success. I'll go through each one of these quickly. Setting goals. So this here is something I've done recently. It's a vision board. I've heard of people doing vision boards. I thought it sounded amazing, but I never took time to do it. It honestly didn't take very long at all. I bought a cork board. I printed a couple pictures. But I recently saw a friend's vision board and it inspired me to do one on my own. But what a vision board is it's taking goals that you have and putting them in front of your face all the time. So I like to set goals in different areas of my life. Physically, spiritually, financially. And so what happened, and if whether you have a vision board or not, you want to have these goals written down in the different areas of your life. And so you have these goals you want to attain. So I want to, eating healthier and getting in better shape is a goal that I have. So I break that down in what I'm going to do, how I'm going to eat, no sugar, things like that. So and then with Relive, if your goal is to become a key director or a senior director or ambassador or whatever, and I'm an ambassador, but now I need to requalify, right? Because there's this new ambassador program. So, but then you have goals and you break those goals down. What I like to do with goals in Relive is you take the 5 daily fundamentals that we talked about today, and you set goals in those areas. So how many new people will you talk to every day? Is it 1, 2, 3, 10? Like the more people you talk to, your faster your business will grow. If you're brand new in the business, yeah, you could easily talk to 5 or 10 people a day. And then, you know, how many appointments do you want to do a week? Or, you know, when I started Relive, I had been in a couple months and I hadn't set goals. And I started Relive in October, came in as a master affiliate. And by that January, I thought, you know, I need to set goals. I know it will help me be more productive. So I set goals to talk to 3 new people a day, to do 3 appointments a week, and follow-up calls. I think I had a goal, I can't remember. I think it was 3 follow-up calls a day. And I wrote those down and I had them on my mirror, and I looked at those every day. And then on days where maybe I didn't feel like doing Relive, you know, I looked at those goals and thought, okay, I had these goals, like who can I talk to today? Who needs follow-up? And then you also can set goals in the director levels, you know, like I said, like if you're not a director yet, set a goal to become a director this month. And then when you want to go key director, and then get to work. So, all righty. So setting goals is the first step. The second step is enthusiasm. I love these quotes. Nothing good or great can be done with the absence of enthusiasm. The real secret of success is enthusiasm. And when someone has enthusiasm, they'll find solutions where there appear to be none, and will achieve success when success was thought impossible. When I think of enthusiasm, I think of this dear man here. I talked about Steve earlier. This is the man that had cholesterol over 800, whose triglycerides were 4,500. He had hypolipidemia, which is a family condition. And I love this man with all of my heart. He is a very good friend. Steve passed away a few years ago from a staph infection, so he's no longer with us. But Steve was just the epitome of enthusiasm and happiness. He loved everyone, and he told you he loved you. Like he sincerely had a deep love for people. He also was a poem writer. He wrote hundreds of poems and he shared them everywhere he went. If you knew Steve, every time you met him, he was sharing a poem to help you have greater vision, to help you believe in yourself, and these are a few poems, Tim, that Steve wrote. Enthusiasm shines much brighter than the facts. You can always spot a winner by the way a winner acts. Winners have the attitude of yes, it is a winner's attitude that wins for them success. But Steve just like, you know, I mean, he lived this, and he went ambassador in 9 months, I believe, presidential in a year. I mean, and Steve shared Relive with people everywhere he went. So, you know, that enthusiasm is important. And people always, you know, Steve was earning bonuses almost every month, trips, he was advancing levels very quickly. And people always, every meeting we went to, people would say, what are you doing? Steve's like, how are you doing this? Well, Steve had the same products that we all have. He had the same opportunity. He had the same success system, but he had this amazing enthusiasm. He loved sharing Relive. He shared Relive everywhere he went. I was getting calls from Steve multiple times every day. We were setting up appointments together. We were doing appointments, but he would call me and he'd be like, Jen, I'm at the grocery store and I just met this man. And people would ask him, like, you know, well, he would ask people, how are you? And, you know, people always ask back, like, I'm great. How are you? And he'd say, I'm great for a man that's supposed to be dead. And then he would just talk to people. And anyway, so he just, you know, just exuded enthusiasm, and it really helped him grow a business and help a lot of people. Steve passed away 4.5 years ago, I believe, and hundreds of people are still blessed by Steve. They order every month. The next step is having daily habits, positive daily habits. So again, set daily goals. Like I talked about, using those 5 fundamentals. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. So how do we manage our time? Prioritize the 5 most important things to do first, and then do them first. So, sometimes maybe the hardest things, calling new people and stuff, people put off, but do that first. Like, make a goal to do that first in your day. And then the next thing is having commitment. Be totally committed. I know Bob Montgomery has said, one of 2 things will happen. You'll either be successful or you won't. Like, you just keep plugging along. You just keep helping. I use prayer as building my business. I pray about who I should talk to, and I've been led to people that need Relive. But there's a difference between interest and commitment. When you're interested in doing something, you do it only when it's convenient. When you're committed to do something, you accept no excuses, only results. So if it's important to us, we find a way. If not, we find an excuse. So, and Relive, what's more important? I mean, there's not many. God, family, and Relive, and good health, right? Like, there's not many more important things. People, every area of their life improves as they have good health. And so it's important. And so when we're committed, we share and help with more people. The 5th step is having the right mindset. Our mind is powerful. Our subconscious mind, like whatever we're feeding ourselves constantly, if all of our thoughts are negative, or if we think, oh, this isn't working, or, oh, I don't know anyone, or whatever, like if we're filling our mind with negative thoughts, then our subconscious mind is pretty powerful. But if we fill our mind with these positive, so that's something that was part of my vision board, is having a better attitude, being more positive. And so as we're filling our mind with all these positive thoughts, then amazing things happen. The mind is all powerful. It's constantly creating our reality. Everyone has the power to dictate their mind to create their own reality. Isn't that awesome that we can create what we want to have happen? We are what we perceive. When we change what we perceive, we'll change what we experience. All right, so we're at the end here. I mentioned that I wanted to talk about the new Facebook group again, so that we all make sure that we go to Relive International, sign up for this Facebook group, and then Monday at noon Central Time, and there's been they had 2 different dates online. I double checked with Erin. They had Monday and Wednesday, but it is Monday. So in 2 days at noon Central Time, and we'll hear from Tom Pinnick and Erin Cook, and they'll answer questions, and we'll have a chance to interact and find out more about this awesome group. So sign up today. So I always like to end with a call to action. Think today, maybe hearing these awesome stories, or hearing from Bob, hearing what's coming. Think of new people, 3 to 10 people. Set a goal. How many people you want to connect with today or this week? Set appointments, set goals with how many appointments and follow up, and start today. I know we have people on from many different organizations. This is just some of the calls. There's also a Tuesday opportunity meeting. I know the Shavens have an awesome training Mondays. So, but plug into the events that are available in your organization. The short and sweet call is fabulous. I've been texting people and trying to have new people on that every week. That's always a really great call. And then this is the last slide here, but I love this slide because sometimes what we see on the outside, like, Dawn, she's so awesome. She just went senior director, and, like, oh, that's amazing. Like, I wish I could do what she does. What we don't see is everything that's gone on underneath that, right? Like, all the persistence, maybe the no's that Dawn has received, or whoever, the hard work, the dedication, the habits of just daily, you know, just doing these same habits. Sometimes the disappointment, but, you know, just keep on going, even if, you know, and the goals and all of these things. And, but we will all achieve success. We just need to keep plugging along and doing what we can do. There's awesome things to come. So I'm super excited about Relove and the new products that are coming. And I know Tom's vision is to have Relove double very soon. And I know that will happen. So I do want to mention, and I forgot to put a slide in, but on March 8th, is it the 8th? Roger, you want to come on? Roger will be doing training Saturday, and Tom Pinnock will be our special guest. And I believe it's the 8th. I don't have my calendar right in front of me.
It's the 6th, Jen.
6th. Okay, thank you.
It's March 6th, and we'll have Tom Pinnock as a special guest. Anybody can come back on this same Zoom on there, and it's at 9:30 Mountains. What's that, 10:30 Central? It's going to be an awesome time. Tom's going to take some time like Bob did today, and for sure you don't want to miss that.
Great, thanks, Roger. And Roger's one of the best trainers. He's awesome. So March 6th, put it on your calendar. Don't miss it. Again, same link, but everyone thank you for being on today, and let's make Relove the best and biggest nutritional company. It already is the best, but let's make it the biggest nutritional company in the entire world. It's up to each of us. And so thanks for being on. Everyone have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to stop the recording and then we can all say goodbye. So just a minute.